right. So tell us a little bit about how you kind of got into this and your training and why.
Yeah, so tarot cards, I actually I would occasionally get tarot readings. The first time I did it, I was very hesitant, but the cards, I was surprised the stuff that came out in the cards, and it was actually very helpful. And so one of the times I did a tarot session, the lady said, you need to learn tarot. I said, okay. Oh, okay. And she was offering a class. So it was a 2-day class over a weekend. It was based in Cincinnati, and I was in Iowa at the time, so I just kind of webcammed in or Skyped in or whatever we did. It was all day long on a Saturday, Sunday, and then after the class we had to do a tarot reading every day for 40 days. And I've just been doing it ever since. So
nice.
It's been fun. So I've been doing it for about a year and a half. I just do it for friends and family. So yeah, I think a lot of people are scared of tarot. Like if someone says, hey, do you want to do a tarot reading? What's your first reaction?
My first reaction is, do you even know what the hell you're doing? Like I don't know you. If I don't know the person and they're trying to give me a tarot reading or something, I'm like, I don't know your background. I don't know you. Did you just buy this deck and read the instructions?
Are you making it up?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, unless somebody is actually gifted and knows what they're doing and can kind of get in tune with something, I don't think the person with the deck knows what they're doing unless they have some kind of ability.
Okay. And then what about you?
Same type of thing. I'm kind of like, are you even real? Like, is this going to be fake? You're just going to pick out a card and say, oh, this relates to you here, and say something that's very general to anyone that would have been in at the time.
Yeah.
So that kind of comes to me.
Yeah.
And not that I just believe in it. It's just when someone said that to me, that's kind of what comes to my mind.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned, being a medium. And a lot of people will call it evidential mediumship. Like there has to be some evidence that the information you're getting is only something that someone specifically would know. So a lot of people who do this kind of work look for clues like that to be like, this is not me making it up. It's some other power. Okay, so I have several decks, tarot decks. The one I'm using right now is just a basic tarot card deck. Tarot cards are usually 78 cards, 78, 77. There's 22 major cards, and then there's 4 suits, just like a deck of cards.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And they go with, and it's from Ace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Page, Knight, Queen, King. So all these 4 suits, and they represent, air, fire, earth, water, yep. And so they all represent different things. So some psychologists will actually use tarot cards because they believe it helps uncover the subconscious, like what's going on for you. Even though you consciously couldn't put words to it and explain it, the cards can sometimes tell you what's going on for you. A lot of people don't want to do it too because they don't want to know the future. And what I would say about that is, if I could do a disclaimer, I would say don't bet on the cards. Take it all for a grain of salt. Don't make medical decisions. Don't make legal decisions. Don't make financial decisions based on tarot cards.
That makes sense.
Take it with a grain of salt. It's all kind of entertainment purposes, but sometimes it'll give you like something like, I didn't think about that, and you kind of think more about it, and maybe it kind of steers you and guides you.
I kind of like that.
Might open up some other options that you didn't know were there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're blinded to your own blind spots, right? Because for instance, people mostly ask about money or houses, job, and relationships. And sometimes when you're in a relationship, you're very blind. Like maybe you really like that person, and so you're not really looking at their pitfalls or what's not working. So anyway, is that too much description?
No, that's good. That's good.
So we're going to do a reading on you.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Right?
Well, both of us, I think.
Well, we can do a reading on you. We haven't had one yet, so.
We can do both. Depends.
Well, we can start on you. How much time do you think it'll take to do one reading?
Like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, then we got time to do both. All right.
Well, we can see. We can see how it goes, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to shuffle the deck a few times, and they say every time you shuffle a deck of tarot cards, it raises your vibration or your frequency. And as human beings, we should all be trying to be at the highest level or the most inspired level possible.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna say something crazy because I
Okay.
I bought my first deck of, it wasn't tarot cards, it was the Shaman
Oracle
cards.
Yes.
So when I first gave those a try, and I told you about this.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I asked it, you know, because I was doing a one card draw where I asked her a question, but it's an open ended. It's not a yes or a no. It's open ended. I shuffled them all up, and I asked it in my head without saying it out loud. And I grabbed the card and read it. It made sense to what I had asked, but I'm like, you know what? I felt like I didn't do it right. I'm gonna do it again. I reshuffled it. I put the card back in the bottom of the deck. I reshuffled it.
How
over
many
and over.
cards?
64.
64.
64 cards. I reshuffled it a few different times. I came back and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna dig into the cards. I'm just gonna slap the top of the deck. I'm gonna say my question out loud and I'm gonna grab the card off the top. I shit you not, it was the exact same card.
Interesting.
I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what the
and
answer was meant to be that.
It's a great, there's a lot of oracle cards out there, which are usually 44 decks, 44 cards or 64 cards. And a lot of people have angel cards. Those are just kind of like just general messages, which you can do that. Like there's a deck, you shuffle it, you ask a question, you pull a card, and usually there's like a statement on it, like, you know, your financial things are getting in the way of your desires, or something like that. There's usually, it's easier to interpret. Tarot is a little bit more complicated, so some people, it's just kind of harder to learn.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, as soon as I shuffle these one more time, you're going to use your left hand,
Okay.
Derek, and you're going to cut the deck into 3 piles.
Okay.
And that's how your energy is going to get on the cards.
Interesting.
And then you're going to tell me which pile resonates for you.
Okay.
Okay? So
All right.
I'm putting the deck in front of you.
Okay.
3 piles.
All right. There's 1, and then there's 2, and now that's
There's
3.
3. Okay. So looking at these 3 piles, which one is kind of you're feeling? What are you kind of
I
feeling?
don't say that.
I was
This
knew you were gonna say that.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah. And it looked different to me. That's why.
So where I place the cards is going to tell us certain answers, okay?
Okay.
So this is card position number 1, number 2, 3 is above, 4 below, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is called the Celtic spread.
Okay.
And this is just like a general, like where are you at, what's going on for you, what's kind of in the recent past, the near future, greatest hope and fear, final outcome. So the first thing I do when I look at what cards are down, I look for where are the major arcana cards, because
Okay.
that means it's a bigger shift going on. So you have a major card in position 1, 2, 5, 4, this one over here. So you've actually, this would indicate that there's kind of a lot of big shifts going on for you.
That'd be true.
And then if I look at, you've got cups, cups, cups. So that would mean there's a lot of things maybe going on from a relationship or a connection or family kind of a thing.
Okay.
And then swords is about mental or thought processes or just kind of mental things. So that tells me kind of where your headspace is at. 9 of Pentacles relates to family and work. But okay, we're going to start at the beginning. Position number 1 is kind of where are you at right now? You've got
Okay.
the Empress card.
All right. I'm just show that to the
yeah.
She's a
camera.
true queen.
And actually, if this is the mothering card, this is a kind of a pregnancy card. I don't know what's going. I don't
Tell
know.
her
My
why.
My wife's pregnant.
Okay, so you're I
Holy
was going to
shit.
say if she's not already, then she would be soon. Because,
She's almost 12 weeks now.
okay. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
That's what's on your mind. There's going to be a shift in your family. So that's kind of where you're at. What is crossing you right now is the Temperance card.
The Temperance card.
So what is kind of crossing your mind right now, or what you're trying to figure out, is probably how am I going to balance this with this new kind of, babies are wonderful, but they're also a pretty big disruption to your current
Yes,
life and
yeah.
any current children. You already
Right.
have other children?
Yes.
So, you know, the worst thing for a child is when a new baby comes along.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah.
But it's also just the whole family is going to get rearranged a little bit. So
That's for sure.
So what's crossing you is how are we going to balance this new thing?
Yeah, we just talked about that
Page.
last night.
Okay, so that's and you know, how do tarot cards work? They say that your subconscious energy is going into the cards, and that's how it's telling me. I
Okay.
don't know. We'll see. Page of Swords. This top card is like, where is your headspace? So Page of Swords is kind of like It's page, knight, queen, king. So because it's page, it's kind of an immature energy.
Okay.
And swords is kind of like mental anguish, worry, anxiety. So you're kind of spinning a little bit in your head,
Yeah.
is what this would say. You're kind of a little bit worried. It's not like a major problem, but you're certainly processing and kind of thinking a lot.
That's exactly how I feel about it.
Okay.
Like, I'm not like a super overly worried. My wife might be is, but I'm not.
Okay.
But I am like, yeah.
But there's still some
Oh, yeah.
energy, and that is not a waste of energy, but it consumes energy.
It absolutely
That,
does.
which prevents you from doing something else. Okay, this card is the Hierophant. It's in the recent past. So it would say
Okay.
like in the past month, that kind of represents the Pope, kind of. So either it could be like the patriarch of the family or a religious thing. Something has kind of been on your mind related to that. I don't know
Okay.
what has been going on. I don't know if like religiously there was kind of something that showed up lately, or just the patriarch, the patriarch, or extended family patriarch.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll come back to that. In the near future, like within the next month, it says 5 of Cups.
All right.
There are 2 cups standing, I think, and 3 cups that have spilled over.
Okay.
So in the near future, maybe because you're kind of spinning in your head, you kind of feel like there's, all is lost, and it's like, oh, am I ever going to get out of this grind? But this is actually a reminder, like there's still 2 cups upright, so everything is not lost.
Okay.
So you need to probably focus a little bit on just being grateful and having gratitude for where you're at. Yeah, you're spinning a little bit and you're figuring out what's my new equilibrium, but it's okay. Like, it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
This card in this bottom placement is the Strength card. Sometimes sometimes in some decks it's the goddess Athena, which is it's typifies strength. And some cards it'll show Athena putting her mouth inside a lion's head just to show like I'm in control. This placement of the card is a reminder from the universe to you that you are strong, that you have things in control. Don't let some of these variables take you away from who you really are.
Okay.
There's a lot of strength and you have control over all the elements in your life.
All right.
Okay. This other card is the Fool. It's the 0 of the 0 to 22. Okay. This is 0. This is also another secret message from the universe to you.
No, we just have 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm hurrying. So the Fool card is about my life is never going to be the same.
Okay.
And it's about this guy's going to walk off a cliff. He's going to walk off the cliff, and he's either going to fall flat on his face or he's going to learn to fly. But either way, you've got to take that leap of faith and move forward. So this is about new beginnings. This is about things are going to change.
Okay.
8 of Cups. This is kind of external influence or how others perceive you. 8 of Cups is, it's not just 4, which is the number of stability, but it's 4 plus 4, which is sometimes it becomes stagnant energy, which is something no longer serves you.
Okay.
So either someone else in your life is going to walk away, or you're going to walk away from something that's not serving you.
All right.
9 of Pentacles is your greatest hope and fear. Your greatest hope and fear, 9 of Pentacles, is abundance, happiness, everything is good and wonderful, which obviously is what you're going to want.
Yes.
And then the final outcome is 7 of Cups. And this guy's looking at 7 cups, and there's lots of options.
Oh, okay.
This card means there's a lot of options in front of you.
Yeah.
And you might be kind of spinning a little bit like, which one do I go after? But I would go back to this card here, the Strength card, and remember, like, you got it all under control. You have a lot of really good things. Don't lose sight of that. But it might not feel like there's a lot of clarity going forward. You might feel like there's a little bit of ambiguity. Things are not totally crystal clear right now, so just give it a little bit more time.
Okay.
So after going through each of them, I would say, yep, you've got a new baby on the way. You got to figure out how to balance it. You're kind of a little stressed about it, but not a huge problem. Remember that you've got the strength within you. All is not lost, even though it's going to feel kind of like the next month is going to be kind of like, this isn't the greatest, but it's not the worst either.
Okay.
New journey, and things are going to be fine. not huge shifts in the future, but you'll figure it out.
Very interesting.
Right.
That's pretty interesting, especially right off the get go. You know what I mean? Like,
as soon as that happened, I was already thinking it. But like for me, this wouldn't have made sense for me.
Right.
Like none of these cards would have made sense.
Yeah.
If it was being read to me. So like, being that it's you and these specific cards,
right.
made a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially like there's been some things brewing in my head yesterday. Some things happened in one of my businesses where I'm starting to think
You're
about venturing a
processing.
different path
You're
on something.
exploring options right now, and it's not
That's
clear,
absolutely
it's not
true.
clear to you what the path is.
Right.
Now, we may not have time for it, but what I would do after a reading like this is lay out the deck. This deck already has your energy on it.
Okay.
So I would say, do you have any additional questions? You would think it in your mind with your left hand pull card, and you could ask additional questions.
We got time for a question.
Yeah.
So you can ask it out loud, or you can just think it in your head.
Okay. Oh gosh, let's see. Do you have any other questions? I've got like a million questions, but if I were to pick one. Okay. All right.
Okay. So with your left hand, pull a card that you're drawn to.
It's going to be.
Is it a personal question? You don't want to say it out loud?
Yeah, a little bit. So I look at
So
it.
you give it to me.
Okay.
So what you got was the Three of Pentacles. So whatever question you're thinking of, this is about either you're going to be a mentor or someone is going to mentor you. There's three people here kind of carving a statue. This is about teamwork and collaboration. So if you're considering going into something with someone, this would indicate that that's a positive thing, because there will be a mentoring relationship in a positive way, and you're going to create something really amazing.
That actually makes a lot of sense to my question about like kind of where some of my businesses are heading towards. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm putting up to the camera on the YouTube.
Any other questions you want to ask?
No, that actually
good?
makes a lot of sense to that. Okay.
All right.
All right. Awesome.